Good evening, interwebs. I am Sebastian Piccione, correspondent for investcomics.com, and this is FFFIC, because I'm in the back of the F part, and I'm reporting to you live from the IC part. IC. It's like, you remember, it was the electric company, IC. IC. FFFIC. See, we made a word. Sean is busy trapped behind the counter because Jared has Dragon Beep. He's suffering from a chronic case of he buggered off and went to Dragon Con. The no good little bastard. He's probably in a dress right now, trying to convince people that it's cosplay. It's Friday. That's just what it is. But Sean has left me one of his trusty, handy dandy little piece of paper, and I need you to be magic hands, because we're gonna get meta here. We're gonna show. You will now be watching a video of a picture of a picture. Because yes, Sean and I ended last week by talking about how we were going to Tampa Bay Comic-Con. So here you can show. Look, there's my lovely family and the Hound and Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, and yay! So I am now. I don't know, internet. Am I cool? Can I be cool now? I know I met the Hound and Arya, and I just want to be loved. All right. First up, we've got thumbprint number 3 from IDW. Sean says, "Good creepy ending. Will read better as a graphic novel." So there you go. When the trade comes out, get this. It is Sean approved and creepy, and it's IDW. They do a lot of good stuff. Captain Midnight numero 2 from Boom. I still like this. The art is gorgeous. The story is good. It's fun yet serious. It's a nice balance of I enjoy reading it, but it's still, sometimes comics try and be too fun, and they're like, oh, they can't, there's fun and there's funny, and funny doesn't always work. But fun, even when it's serious stuff going on, it's fun to read, and I just like this time lost guy taking on the granddaughter of the daughter of Nazi supervillains, and chilling out with his the granddaughter of his former love interest. It's got a Captain America spin, but and Uncanny number 3 from Dynamite. I love this book. It's got the makings of a great heist book mixed with superheroes. It's kind of, if you took like Thief of Thieves meets, not Heroes, but maybe one of those cool, more British indie kind of people get powers shows. Misfits. And kind of what was it? Misfits. Yeah, maybe more. A little bit Misfits meets meets the heist set of and I mean, it's Andy Diggle, so what the hell are you not reading for? Angel Falling, a graphic novel, right, from Big City Comics Studio and put out through Zenescope. This was really good. You've got government-sponsored super assassin program where one of their best agents is he's autistic, so he and this another one of their best agents, she ends up kind of amnesiac, and they end up outside the program, but people from the program naturally want them back and aren't necessarily ashamed of who they kill in the middle, and it's really good. And the what do you call it? The foreword and epilogue here, both written by the author Jeffrey Kaufman, who is Jeff's a friend of Invest Comics. We've interviewed him. We've hung with him at MegaCon, and he's good guy, great writer, and he has an autistic son. So it's when you think of Jeff Kaufman, if you've met him, you tend to think the word irreverent, but he's not being. There are some irreverent times within this book, but he's not he's not poking fun at anything autistic. This is a serious thing that he deals with, and and he deals with it nicely here. It's not heavy-handed. The character is, it's not one of those, oh, and look, this guy's autistic. This guy is who he is, and he happens to be within. They talk a lot about the autistic spectrum, which, as anyone around here knows, I'm within the autistic spectrum. It's the only time I've ever been referred to as high-functioning, is I fall into the Asperger's range. I just deal with it a lot better than most. So I liked seeing that too, because it was, it's nice. We don't get, we don't get our play as much as we could in these kinds of stories. Adventures of Superman #4, so good. Mix of stories again. Last time was a full issue story. This you've got Avengers Landing, you got Tom DeFalco. One of these stories, the last story, which one was this? Who did this? Let me look and see who the creative team behind this one was. The one written by Rob Williams and art by Chris Weston. Chris Weston's art is like, wow. It's like Brian Bolland and Kurt Swan had a baby. So it's like classic Kurt Swan looking Superman as realistically detailedly rendered as a Brian Bolland figure. It's just really, really good. But they're all really good. There's Tom DeFalco's has like because they're not set in any particular continuity, so Tom DeFalco goes way back with the more Golden Age looking Superman, very cartoony on the art style. For that one, it was Pete Woods with rocking out the cartoony style. So gorgeous, a really good story. I know I gave Tom DeFalco some flack on some of his other DC stuff, but this one was really on. And then of course Avengers Landing are Avengers Landing, so you don't need to know anything beyond that. They're just awesome. And their story, I believe is the first one. Yeah, their story is the one where it's one of those split screen where you've got Superman doing his Superman-y stuff and Lex doing his evilly Lex stuff, and then it comes together right now at the end of the story. Boom, 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 boom. So good. This is like the best Superman book DC's got right now. And yeah, look at that cover. Look at that cover. You're looking? You're looking? Yeah, you are. Bruce Timm cover. Infinity tie-in. This is New Avengers #9, and it was a lot, and I didn't really make it through all of it, so yeah, and Uncanny Avengers, they're still dealing with the Apocalypse kids and the resurrected former friend, former foes, and Wanda hanging with the Apocalypse kids, and Wasp looking really vintage and yet pseudo sci-fi, so that was pretty cool. Superman #23 was okay. It wasn't bad. It's not like, I didn't read this and go, what the, which happens a lot with the Superman books in the New 52. But I didn't read it and go, yeah, we're on a change of pace. And then again, they lost me because it ends with introducing a character that we've already had introduced in Superboy, and it's that new version of the New 52 version of the Psycho Pirate, who looks redonkulous with this, his Medusa mask is now like an actual Medusa mask. It looks like he's wearing like a magic hand. It looks like he's playing with like a wicker mask, but he's got these Medusa tendrils. Makes me think of I don't remember his name, but he was a short-lived run of one of the many short-lived runs of New Warriors. There was the guy with the helmet, and I don't remember Aegis, and I don't know, Aegis, maybe. Teen Titans. People always say when you're talking about comics, well, if you don't like a book, vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars by not buying the books by people you don't like on titles. Well, here's the funny thing about the way comics work. See, that can work with regular novels, but that can even work with movies. Oh, I hate that guy. I'm not going to see this movie. But, however, with comics, I am voting with my dollars, but for characters and titles, not necessarily for the creative team. So as I continue to buy Teen Titans, I am not buying it because of Scott Lobdell and what he's doing to these characters. I'm buying it because this is it. This is all I've got left on characters that I've followed from their creation. I love Wonder Girl. I love Kid Flash. I love Superboy. I even really liked, in her brief pre-New 52 incarnation, I even really liked Solstice. And of course, I like Raven, but I don't like these versions. But these are my characters. So my dollars are voting for these characters, not for what's going on. And we're just getting further and further from where I want to be. Though the art is nice. This is it Jesus Marina? No, this is Robson. The other one, this was Jesus Marino over Eddie Barrows, and a lot of the pages that were the best, you could really were the ones that, not knocking Jesus Marino, but the pages that were the best were the ones where you could see Eddie Barrows just really shining through. The art is fine. It looks really nice. A couple of characters leave for I don't know how long at the end of this one, but nonetheless, it's just getting further and further from where I want it to be. Batman Incorporated special was odd. I think oddly the story I liked best was this. It's not Red Raven. I don't know what. Well, the Squire becomes Knight story was good, and the who's this guy? Come on, where's the title page? Give me the title page. Raven Red. See, he's not Red Raven. He's Raven Red. I liked that one. Art-wise, I like John Polion, and I don't know who Nathan Fairbairn is. Fairbairn, but I liked that story the best, I think. And then the Batcow solo story was good, especially for the Ethan Van Sciver art, but I gotta tell you, at the end, there was no way I could justify the idea of, hungry crying baby, spilled empty baby bottle. They look at the udders on Batcow, who gives it this and no one in their right mind is going to be desperate enough to take milk straight from the cow and give it to their baby in a bottle, because I don't know, I think the word homogenized is probably important. Captain America, I don't usually read. I read this one because it's the end of the Dimension Z story, which is good. We get, and I don't know, I guess the kid grows up and becomes. We get another incarnation of Nomad, off in that other dimension. So it's not our Nomad, but there's another Nomad running around out there. And yeah, spoiler alert, unless you have internet, then you already know. Despite her getting some big play in the new movie, they have seemingly killed Sharon Carter. So Cap just can't catch a break, and. Story-wise, it was okay. I wasn't terribly impacted by any of this because I love Remender as a general rule, but this story just was not my thing. Uncanny X-Men, still pretty good, still pretty damn good. I like this guy who could kind of control machines, and Gold Ball. I want a team with Speedball, Hardball, and Gold Ball. They can call themselves Ballers, and I would totally read that. The Uncanny X-Balls. Dragon Ball X. It can be them and Dragon Man. I think it works. Scarlet Spider times dose. Or is it? Dun 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 dun. Scarlet Spider supporting cast is in trouble. What? Scarlet Spider himself is in trouble. What? Craven is a hunting. What? And we sort of get original Scarlet Spider, but let's just say it's one big head game but it was so well done that even if you're a huge fan of Ben Reilly and you saw this cover and said, are they bringing Ben Reilly back? You won't be, well, you'll be upset that it's not Ben Reilly, but you won't be devastated because they did this really well. And this is one of my favorite books, and this is so gorgeous, it's gorgeous. I don't know if you knew about the gorgeousness, but it's actually gorgeous. You say you want a revolution. in the evolution. Avengers Arena. I really like the origin of the baby Bloodstone kid. They even tied in nicely to the Bloodstone. You know, we know that he's the little brother of I forget her first name. The Bloodstone that was in everybody's favorite. What the hell was that team called? With the Captain and Bloodstone and Machine Man.
Oh, Next Wave.
Next Wave, yes, thank you. I can never think of anything when I'm on a freaking in front of the camera. But yeah, so it ties in nicely to there. And he's got some interesting power set. I like Anachronism. I don't remember her name, but Anachronism's kind of girlfriend, Nara, I think it is, the fish girl. I'm very worried about Hazmat as this goes. And apparently, yeah, that trigger scent gets a lot of use on this island that makes X-23 just kill blindly. Apparently that's not a secret you want someone to know, is there's a scent that makes you just kill things, because you just spray that shit everywhere. All new Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. So good. You realize how many Spider-Mans there are in the Marvel Universe that are not Peter Parker right now? You've got Superior Spider-Man, who is Doc Ock. You've got Scarlet Spider, who looks just like Peter Parker, but is Kane. You've got Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, who is, they've already replaced him. So, I don't even think we need Peter Parker. I want him back in regular, because I don't know if Doc Ock should be Spidey. But all these others are perfect. In this book, and you get the Cloak and Dagger, and you get the origin of Bombshell, and you get all sorts of greatness. And there's a guy that may or may not be a young Mr. Sinister in here. I'm not even sure. But, so good. So good. Arcane Secrets from, number 1, from Amigo. It's like, it's Cthulhu kind of in cutesy form, but the best, what's his name? There's a character in here. His name is Elvis. That's what it was. He's a helioglobe. He's like a little Cthulhu thing who's not all big scary monster. He's really more gift of the gab and just kind of a coward and talks his way through crap and ends up partnered with our 2 other main characters, Doctor whatever the heck, and what are their names? Come on, pages, give me names. Dr. Ment and Harry. Alright? And they're like our heroes, but my favorite character, and yours too, will be Elvis the Helioglobe. Because he's a little Cthulhu guy named Elvis that is smarter than the rest of the team and just kind of talks around and can make himself float by filling himself with helium. It's just awesome. Said it before, I'll say it again. Charles Soule plus Guy Gardner equals awesome. This is so good, and we've got Guy, everyone's, why is Guy going over? And we had the mission that Guy's going over as undercover, but he's going to end up stuck there for longer than just this mission, so what's the deal? Well, his ring is almost out of charge, and all the rings are getting turned off by Relic over there, so Hal can't even pull him out when things are going on. Atrocitus and Dexter make a very scary little team across the universe, and Bleeze is finding out Guy's secret. And while I still think that they should do more with Nort, and I miss Guy, and I miss stuff like a Guy and his Nort. I miss the Guy and Nort team, but is it Vox? What was the little round? Vox. Zox. Guy and Zox actually making a much better team than I thought could be possible, and who can't love that? Wolverine and the X-Men, Hellfire Saga Part 5 of 5. So good. Gorgeous artwork. Amazing story. Ties in nicely to the available in the previews that came out today. Well, not today when you're watching this, or yesterday actually, but not when you're watching this. But this week's previews has the Amazing X-Men, where the first storyline is going to be the quest for Nightcrawler. We get a glimpse into the secret of the Bamfs, and we find out what's going on there. and a tease towards that upcoming storyline. So I'm very, very happy because Nightcrawler's my boy, and Brew makes me happy, and this is just everybody in this makes me happy. Quentin Quire may be my new favorite mutant, and by maybe I mean I think Quentin Quire is my new favorite mutant. So this is just awesome. Are there any of these that Sean had reviews for? Ultimate Spidey. Sorry, I skipped Ultimate. Sean's Ultimate Spidey review was awesome backstory that won't matter after Cataclysm. Because Sean is cynical. Sean's review for Batman Superman is this. Sean does not like this book. Sean's exact words to me were, "The book is so bad. It is so bad. It's terrible. The fact that Rick's the owner of Famous Space, the fact that Rick and I agree that it's bad should tell you something. Like, it tells me that the world's going to end, because Rick and Sean don't usually agree." Sean's like, "The book should totally be canceled." He's also convinced, and it will, because I love this book. I love this book. I love Jay Lee's art. I love Greg Pak's story. I love this look into, that this is the first part of, t-shirt wearing Superman I've gotten behind. I like this. I just like this. I don't know what to tell you. Aquaman number 23. Sean says fishtastic. Really, really good. We get some revelations, at least to Aquaman, for as to what's going on with, what Mira's story is. We get Aquaman pushing his powers to the limit to control Topo to try and save Atlantis. We get all sorts of stuff, and then we get a we get a you've been unconscious for 6 months, ready for what's coming next. And of course, we have to take a little brief hiatus because we're going to jump into the Forever Evil storyline. So all the heroes are going to be kind of busy. Speaking of Forever Evil, Justice League 23. Sean says, "Awesome ending. Bring on Forever Evil." Yeah, this was really, really good. This did what so few crossovers do these days. I'm looking at you, almost every Marvel crossover. It stuck the landing. This ended just as good, if not freaking better, than it began. And this is just awesome. And yeah, I don't know so much about the. Hopefully that momentum will carry through all the villain one-shot kind of issues, but I really want to see this Forever Evil storyline play out. Jonah Hex number 23. Awesome. Jonah Hex in the modern DCU Gotham. I know a lot of people bitched and moaned, but it's Palmiotti and Gray, and they just write the fucking out of things. And this was so good that if and when they put him back, I'm almost going to be upset, because they have changed nothing as far as Hex, and I love that Hex, who's always been so it is what it is kind of. He's a very laid back bounty hunter, and he accepts relatively easily the fact, yep, now I'm in the future, this is the way it is, and and he's not ready to give up on his quest to get home, but he's not like, oh my god, I'm in a weird future. He just does what he does and has an explanation for who he is. He knows who he is, and it doesn't matter how much you change the setting on. And yeah, this is such an underrated book, and the art on this, this is just great. It's a gorgeous book. It's a wonderful read. It's one of the best books you're not reading, and you totally should. Talon number 11, also so good. I love Talon. This wraps up the Bane story and leads perfectly snugly into the upcoming Forever Evil stuff. And you get a sort of Batman and Talon team up. They're working on the same side, but mostly over the phone. But nonetheless, so good. Teams more with Bruce Wayne in this than Batman, but you'll have to read that to understand. Star Wars Legacy number 6. This is awesome. It's continuing the saga of the great-granddaughter of Han and Leia, of Anaya Solo and her little crew, but now they're starting to go their separate ways, and they're all in all sorts of trouble because the Sith in the future have dumped the whole always a master and a Padawan. Now there's a bunch of individual Sith, all kind of with their own plan, And there's one guy who says, nah, I'm just going to wipe them all out and be the Das Ultimate Sith. So you've got Sith plots against Sith, and everyone else realizes, holy crap, the Sith pretty much infiltrated a lot of major governments, and we didn't know that. And nobody's sure what to do about it. But this stuff is just really, 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 really good. Itty Bitty Hellboy from Art Baltazar and Franco, from the people who gave you Tiny Titans. You get Itty Bitty Hellboy. So good. So adorably hysterical, so filled with lack of undies and poison ivy in unfortunate places, and it's just so good. It's just so good. Lots of houseware boxes. Comfy. So good. Read that. Young Avengers #9. I like it. It's been up and down for me. It was down, up, and up, and okay. So right now it's kind of at a level that it's stopped trying so hard to be clever and just has its clever moments. Oddly, it's little Loki that's just too ham-fisted for me, and I'm having a harder time dealing with. Semi-surprise ending, and yeah. Miss Fury number 5 from Dynamite, not the digital Miss Fury, the regular Miss Fury series. It's okay. It's okay. Damsels, Giant Killers. This was really good. I like this, especially the art. The art in this is by Dietrich Smith, and it's just really, really good. Really clean. Really nice line work, and I just really. It has a hint of like Immonen, and there are parts that make me think of Shanor, so it was really good. From Xenoscope, we got Realm Knights #1. The government puts together their team. You got Selena, aka Agent Snow. You got Robin Hood. You got Red. You got Red from Red Riding Hood. You've got the Captain Hook character with his, now he's got a laser arm, like cannon on his arm instead of a hook. And you've got my favorite, the Van Helsing, the steampunk Van Helsing. I love her. I just love her to death. And they're put together because the Titan Cronus has come back and is looking to put together his weapons and gain all his full power and basically make a mess of the world. And when a Titan comes back, you kind of have to get everybody you can. So this is the team they put together to take that on. It was really, really good. Screwed 1, 2, and 3, right? From Xenoscope again. It's good. It's kind of a modern take on Frankenstein to an extent. She's been put together. There are others. She has no memory and is trying to avoid being captured, but she keeps kind of hallucinating and sees everyone as monsters. So sometimes she's fighting bad guys, sometimes she's kind of killing innocent people, which tends to complicate your relationship with law enforcement. It's good. It is a bit all over the place, and there are a lot of times where I find it a little to follow, but it's still enjoyable as it is. Green Hornet #5, Mark Waid, Dynamite, so good. Hornet and Kato are reunited, and it feels #so good. Alright, and they're still, Green Hornet's starting to calm down a little, but he's still on this ego hubris trip that's gonna definitely have some problems before this story resolves itself. Jungle Book 4 and 5, Last of the Species, wraps up the storyline, reintroduces the Bear Clan, and is all collected nicely right here in Jungle Book Volume 2, Last of the Species. Has this whole storyline, really changes up the dynamic on the island. I like this book. I liked it before, but now I really, it's not what I thought it would be, because it's willing to step outside what it had, the way it, it set itself up as a certain way, but there's a natural and organic change in the dynamic between the humans that are on this island of Kipling, the animal tribes, and everything is kind of in a state of flux, and it's really, really well done. And Shere Khan comes back in this, who we thought had died in the first story arc, but not in one of those, oh, you brought him back and now he's doing it. No, it all kind of makes sense, because even as Shere Khan says, look, in this war on this island, we are all victims and we are all aggressors. You know, it's not like any of us are 100% innocent, and it's not like any of us are 100% evil. So once you take that into account, it's just a matter of aligning yourself with whoever at the moment seems to be have interests similar to yours. Not even with your own best interest, but have interests similar to yours. And it's really well done, and I just really like that one. Let's see if I missed anything else from Sean that I gotta throw out. Oh, Itty Bitty Hellboy, only the funniest book since Sea Bear Grizzly Shark. So that's some serious review. Oh, I didn't get Flash. Apparently Sean read Flash and says, new Reverse Flash revealed. Can we get Wally back now? And I'm inclined to agree with that. He also apparently read Catwoman. Catwoman says, I didn't read this garbage. I just know Joker's daughter's first appearance is in it. So that's that. And all right. I guess I'm done. I'm sorry I wasn't as funny this time, but I don't work well without someone to react to all my horrible puns. Adieu.